In our last episode, we explored Anambra State and its deep influence on Igbo civilization. And one thing the series keeps proving is very simple. You cannot tell the story of the Igbo people from a single angle. It's a network of states, each carrying a different weight of history, culture, resistance, and identity. And now we move to Delta State, a region often described as a footprint across the Niger, a place where river, trade, politics, and culture all collided to shape a unique part of the Igbo experience. So what role did Delta States play in shaping Igbo civilization? Let us take a closer look. Number one, the Lower Niger trade corridor. Delta States sat at one of the most important economic routes in the region, the Lower Niger River Trade Network. Communities like Aboh played key roles in riverine commerce, connecting inland Igbo markets with coastal trade systems. This wasn't just trade, it was economic influence flowing through water routes. Number two, the Ekumeku Resistance. The Ekumeku Resistance lasted from 1883 to 1914, a remarkable 31-year struggle against British colonial expansion and the Royal Niger Company. The movement was led primarily by the Anioma communities of present-day Delta State, including places like Ibuzo, Okwashuku, Iseloku, Ubuluku, Okpanam, and Onitsha, Olana. Rather than a standing army, Ekumeku operated as a network of coordinated resistance groups that launched attacks against colonial forces and collaborators. Today, it remains one of the longest anti-colonial resistance movements in Nigerian history. Number three, Asaba and colonial history. It holds a critical place in colonial history as the first headquarters of the Royal Niger Company in the region. But it also carries one of the most painful chapters of the Civil War, the Asaba Massacre. During the Nigerian Civil War, Asaba became the site of one of the war's most tragic atrocities. Between 5th and 7th October 1967, federal troops entered Asaba after Biafran forces had retreated across the Niger. In an attempt to demonstrate loyalty to Nigeria, hundreds of Asaba residents gathered wearing Akwa Ocha, the traditional white cloth, while chanting "One Nigeria." Instead, many men and boys were separated from their families and shot. Historians estimate that hundreds of civilians were killed, making the Asaba Massacre one of the most remembered civilian tragedies of the Civil War. Number four is the Obi kingship system. Another important institution is the Obi kingship system. In many Anambra communities, the Obi serves as the traditional ruler and custodian of culture, customs, and communal identity. Kingdoms such as Onitsha, Olana, Okwashuku, Iseluku, Ubuluku, and Aboh developed long-standing royal institutions that played important roles in governance, in dispute resolution, diplomacy, and community leadership. The Obi institution helped preserve social order and cultural continuity, and it remains a respected part of traditional authority in Anambra communities today. Number five is Omu traditions, the female leadership. One of Delta's most distinctive contributions is the Omu institution. The Omu was not simply a women's leader. In many Anambra communities, she served as the female counterpart to the Obi and exercised authority over markets, trade, women's affairs, and aspects of community leadership and governance. The institution demonstrates that political leadership in traditional Igbo society was often more complex than many people assume, with structured roles for both men and women. Some Omu figures became highly influential political and economic leaders within their communities. Number six is culture and identity. Delta also contributed major cultural expressions, including the Akwa Ocha royal fabric. Akwa Ocha, meaning white cloth, is one of the most recognizable cultural symbols of the Anioma people of Delta State. The fabric is particularly associated with communities in Anyocha and Oshimili, and many traditions credit Ubuluku as one of the earliest centers of its production. Traditionally handwoven, Akwa Ocha became a symbol of dignity, prestige, purity, and cultural identity. It is still worn during weddings, title-taking ceremonies, festivals, and other important cultural events. Number seven, voices that shaped thoughts and culture. They have produced influential figures who shaped literature, politics, and national identity, including Buchi Emecheta, Dennis Osadebay. Their work helped shape how Nigerian and African stories were told globally. And when you put all of this together, you begin to see Delta State differently, not just as a geographical space, but as a region shaped by rivers, resistance, leadership systems, cultural identity, and powerful historical turning points. From the trade routes of the Lower Niger to the Ekumeku Resistance to the political and cultural systems that shaped shaped community life to the voices that helped define Nigerian literature and identity, Delta's influence runs deep in the wider story of the Igbo and Niger Delta people. And like every episode in this series, this is just a starting point. There's still more history and stories that didn't make it to this breakdown. So tell us in the comments, what's one Delta contribution that you think should be added? And if you've been following this series, make sure you subscribe to Voice of the East, like this video, and share it with someone who enjoys African history. Next up, we continue the journey, and trust me, the next episode is another heavy one. We'll see you there.